Welcome back, everybody. It's your host, Adam Stark, back at it after my little 1 week break, letting Nick and Julius hold down the fort, but they did a great job as per usual. So, boys, what's going on? Man, it is just a hot Tuesday. Tomorrow's not going to be any better.
It's only
Julius,
getting hotter.
this is just another day for you. But Nick, are you gonna be near a pool, near a beach, near some water tomorrow, or are you gonna be stuck in a warehouse like me?
Neither. I'm gonna go battle the heat advisory that was just sent out to my phone a little bit ago. 100-degree weather here in Michigan, and I'm gonna battle it and play some disc golf during it after work. So you will not catch me by a pool, but you will probably catch me at home on the slip and slide with the sprinkler running. You know what I mean? With that little like sprinkler flower that just sprays everywhere, and you and your kids run through it. I'll be running through that and whatnot. We did just sign up for this like aquatic center, and we signed up for a yearly pass. So maybe I will take advantage. I think they're open till like 8 o'clock or like sunset or something. So maybe I'll do a little disc golfing and then do a little swimming after. It's gonna be hot. I don't know.
It's gonna be a hot one.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that? Are you guys Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans at all?
Oh yeah.
All right. Do you remember the scene where Dennis and Mac move out to the suburbs, and it was like one of the
Is it Wally?
episodes? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one of the newer seasons, like last 3 or 4. Dennis and Mac move out to the suburbs, and they start to go absolutely insane. And it's just the same like method. They do the same shit all day, and over and over and over. And Dennis finds himself every single day getting out of the car, going, how you doing, Nate? Or he goes, how you doing, Wally? And it's his neighbor, and he's the old man. And he goes, well, it's going to be another hot one. And finally, Dennis gets to his breaking point where he goes, is it going to be another hot one, Wally? Is it? And he goes so crazy. And I'm pretty sure he kills him in this like little scene. And then it snaps, and it's just a flash of like Dennis like going crazy in his mind, imagining him killing this old man. So
one of the best shows. Have you listened to their podcast at all?
They have a podcast?
Oh my God, and it's great. It's a great podcast, dude. They're already like 40 episodes deep. And
that's great. Dang, I'll have to check it out.
It is great. I recommend it for any It's Always Sunny fan. I stand by today. Like, I love The Office. I love Parks and Rec. I love all this. I still stand by It's Always Sunny is the best sitcom.
Hey man, they're still airing. They got the longest record for longest airing sitcom, I believe.
15 or 16 seasons, and it's awesome. Man, Julius, you It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan?
Yeah, but I'm sporadic about it. So I've watched like seasons 3, seasons 1, seasons 10. And there's a bunch in between I haven't seen.
You haven't watched all 180 episodes or whatever it is?
No way. Hey, but it is a funny show. Always Sunny is definitely, I mean, every time I watch it, I laugh at least once an episode. So
the amount of times I found myself, drunk or coming off a hangover or something, flipping that show on when I'm just, I need something to just relax, to get a couple laughs and not really need to pay attention to, but something to keep my attention. But this is Detroit Lions podcast. So, boy,
it's sunny in Detroit,
Unfortunately, we can't really talk Hard Knocks just yet, but we are approaching
less than 60 days.
Yeah, that's getting closer by the day. It's gonna be special. It's gonna be a good one. It's the first time Lions are actually seeing any of their teams really like behind the scenes. I know there's been documentaries, but nothing to this extent. So not a whole lot of news in Lions realm, but I'll just list it off. And you guys, if we want to talk about it, we're just going to talk about it, because this is not a whole lot going on in these episodes. These Lions, we call them the dog days. So we'll just be kind of doing your typical Detroit Lions BS for this episode. So the Lions, we decided to bring in, this was the most recently one, Devin Funchess. Julius, we know him, our boy from Michigan, who has bounced around on numerous teams, most notably on the Panthers, but had a stint with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So he does have a little, in-divisional rival, vendetta coming against the Packers. So that's always good. But Nick, when you saw this signing, he's coming in. This is interesting. He's not playing wide receiver, which was his position in the pros, but in college he was a tight end, and now he is becoming a tight end again. So Lions are moving him back to tight end. Do you think, Nick, do you think he's going to make the team? And if so, do you think he's got a good shot at being, a good number 2 behind Hawk?
I like the idea of bringing him in because what this shows me, and this is something that we've kind of alluded to, getting who is the tight end we got from Virginia Tech? I think it was
James Mitchell, I believe.
I think you're right. We don't have faith in our number 2 right now. Right, which is I'm drawing blanks on blanks right now. I just got
Brock Wright is probably the other guy.
Who's our second? Who's our number 2 guy right now?
James Mitchell, Brock Wright, and there's one other dude.
Regardless, we don't really have a number 2, so we're gonna bring Funchess in for a tryout. Do I think he sticks and makes the roster? No, I think he does not make the 53-man roster. I don't even think he really makes the practice squad. But what he could do is bring a lot of veteranship, a lot of know-how to like training camp into the locker room early in the season. He could work out and be the number 2. We tried to do that with Fells last year, and it just didn't work out. We cut him, re-signed him, cut him again.
Fells, after we cut him, re-signed, we cut him like 15 times. Yeah. Didn't he go to like the Texans and have like a decent, couple games?
He probably caught a couple touchdowns, which in fantasy,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately,
someone now, but
Devin Funchess isn't anyone I'm getting excited. This is literally just the only Lions topic that we have to talk about.
Oh, so come on, Nick.
I'm gonna really stretch this one out. I'm gonna prolong this out. Funchess hasn't been even thought of since 2017, and even at that point, he wasn't even like ever gonna be a good wide receiver.
Okay, so.
Carolina.
The guy we got, the other guy who we were thinking of is Garrett Griffin. He was the guy to bring in to be the number 2. If Funchess, Mitchell, these guys compete. Mitchell obviously has some leeway being a rookie coming off an injury, so he probably won't be ready till midseason or get a fair chance till midseason at least. And we also have Shane Zelstra, another notable name, and then a couple guys I've never heard of, Derek Deese Jr. and Nolan Gavan. So Funchess, it's interesting. I like this move. I love the mind of Brad Holmes. He does all these little, things where I'm like, this could work. And so far, none of them have hit. If it's, Trinity Benson, if it's,
Charles Harris hit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that one.
Alex Zazzaloni. Yeah.
He kind of hit. Yeah.
Where it's like, what is Brad Holmes thinking right now? He's got a plan for this. What is he thinking? Is this a move to, just say, hey, Hawk, this better be your best season because we're going to start bringing in people like Funchess. There's plenty of vets we could bring in and replace.
I don't think it has anything to do with Hawk.
I don't either.
Nothing. It's all about. It's like Brock Wright. You need to prove something, or you're out.
It's about that tight end 2 spot. Brad Holmes is what we're seeing is Brad Holmes try to patch a weakness on the team that he believes to be a weakness on the team via free agency, via veteran free agency, which is what a lot of fans have been complaining that he hasn't done enough, to be honest, which I disagree with. I just think he's not recklessly throwing money around where we don't need it. But that's what he's doing. He thinks that he's telling Brock Wright and all those other guys that's vying for that tight end 2 spot that it's going to be a hard go.
I'm just saying, you think Devin Funchess is the best tight end why aren't we taking a shot? All right, here's a couple other tight ends out there. All right. We might not like a lot of these names, but are you telling me that these guys wouldn't be better than Devin Funchess? Jimmy Graham, Eric Ebron, Kyle Rudolph, Blake Jarwin, Jared Cook, Jesse James, Le'Veon Toyolo, who we had
See, the kicker though, Devin Funchess is a wide receiver, and we're changing.
He's not. He's way too big now. He is not. He is not like 2018 frame. Look his weight up. He's not a wide receiver. He is not a wide receiver.
We are betting. Just a couple seasons ago, he was kind of sought after free agent. I think he signed with Green Bay and got hurt. Right?
Bring him up for a second. Yeah, well, he opted out. Is what happened.
But he got hurt. He never really played.
Yeah, so he got hurt. COVID hit. He opted out, and then he may have opted out again last year if it was an option. Just get that paycheck, but he is back this year, obviously with the Lions. So it'll be interesting. And I will say, if he does make the team, then I think we all could agree, like, all right, Brad Holmes, nice.
He makes the team, and then that's a fair signing. You know what I mean?
Then,
Like,
yeah. So then it's like he makes the team and doesn't bust. Because if he makes the team and busts out or just does absolute nothing, then it's like, we definitely should have cut this guy.
yeah, he played one game in 2019. That was the last time he played in the NFL.
Okay.
So that's 2 years removed and only one game.
Fingers crossed.
Last 3 years he's played one game, right? Like I don't know.
Hey,
if Jared Cook was available, like why aren't we giving him a 1-year deal? Like why is Jared Cook just not too good to be a backup tight end right now? If that's the case,
I think it's just Detroit. People aren't. It's not a sexy destination, and Fudge just wants to get his shot. And he was the cheapest, probably best, wanting to come to play for Detroit.
I don't really know why I'm even like arguing this, because honestly, I shop at the dollar store every freaking day, so I'm all about finding that dollar value, and that's what Funches is. That's not Brad Holmes going out to freaking the healthy food store, Whole Foods, and grabbing your $8 organic eggs. That's him going to the Spartan store in the hood on 8 Mile, grabbing that $1 carton of eggs. And that's those eggs taste just fine. They taste just fine. Those poor chickens were caged up in that cage, their whole life, but they still taste good. Eggs still taste good.
Exactly, Nick. I like it.
The value.
Funch is having a good year, being, at least decent for the Lions, would be crazy. But you know what happened that was even crazier? Pizza. Someone out-pizzaed the Hut. And I mean, Little Caesars out-pizzaed the Hut. Yes, they did. They're the official pizza for the NFL. And boys, obviously, we all saw this notification pop up. We're like, okay, Mr. Illich, you got the money to, work out a big old NFL deal, make something like that happen. Then pay up for the Tigers' wings and anyone else you can. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? Like, oh.
Yeah, I agree. And pay up a player. Get rid of Alavila. Don't spend all this money on Javi Baez, who will hit 180, 3 home runs in his first.
Well, this is giving me Justin Upton vibes. A little Tigers side note tangent, but man, do you remember when we signed Justin Upton? I'm almost positive his first 3 games, he hit 5 home runs, or he started phenomenal, and then all of a sudden just nosedive into the low 200s. Well, that was Baez. He got that. I think, was it a home run the first game where he got the walk off? I believe, yeah. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, baby, he's our guy." And everyone knows, he's very hit or miss, and he's streaky type player, and that's what everyone tries to comfort themselves with. But in the end, it's like, all right, we need more out of this.
Yeah. So.
Tigers are god awful. Alavila is done after this season. Hopefully, AJ Hinch isn't.
I agree. Keep him around. But Alavila's got to go. Terrible.
For what the Tigers have, Hinch is making it work, and it's nice. I will say, I believe Hinch's contract is up as well this year. So if he wants to leave, I think he can. Not 100% sure, but definitely would like to keep AJ Hinch.
Hopefully we keep losing and nobody wants AJ Hinch as a coach, and so he's
it puts on the illusion that he's actually a bad manager, even though the Tigers were just god awful.
And now the news that Casey Mize is out for the next year and this year with Tommy John, we won't see him again until 2020.
People are going to completely forget about Casey Mize, and then he's going to pitch again. And you're going to get tons of people going, oh, yeah.
He was the number 1 draft pick, I forgot about him.
Yeah. All right, here, quick one. Nick, if we could sacrifice one, you get one to be a superstar. Jeff Okuda, Casey Mize, coming back from a near, career-ending injury. Who would you take?
I would sacrifice Okuda in the faith that Brad Holmes would find another Jerry Jacobs, and I would let Casey Mize come back and be a Justin Verlander for the Tigers.
Julius.
Yeah. Break it down for me one more time, just so I'm clear.
Jeff Okuda coming back, be a superstar, cornerback 1 off Achilles, but that would mean Casey Mize never pitches again. His elbow's just blown up. Or Casey Mize gets a robotic arm, comes back, does a Verlander-esque return, and is our new ace. but Okuda suffers.
Give me that lockdown, Okuda.
Ooh, I like it. So I guess
That is like a dream of mine. I need that to
Akuda
come
Matata.
true.
You know what I mean? It's a wonderful phrase.
If I knew, yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of similar positions to, where they're both defense in a way, kind of not lockdown, but can prevent points. So I'd go with Okuda. Got to go with my Lions. But, man, that would be a tough decision. Another interesting little question, but the Detroit Lions, we were graded top 3 offensive line by Pro Football Focus. Shout out to them for giving us the respect we deserve. They know that we got all the boys on the line. Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Frank coming back. It's going to be a big, bad, tough O-line to go against. So, boys, Julius, were you a little shocked, I guess, to see that PFF was, giving the Lions some love, and a lot of it seems like, for the offensive line at least?
No, I'm not shocked, because it's no longer a secret that the Lions offensive line, when healthy going into the season, is going to be formidable. And we're talking the likes of Frank Ragnow, who is arguably the best center in all of planet Earth. We're talking the likes of Penei Sewell, who by every regard seems to be a future superstar in his own making. Taylor Decker, who is above average, solid, sturdy, reliable. And Jonah Jackson, he was all Pro Bowler last year. And Big V is our weak link on the O-line, and he was really good in a lot of ways, especially in the run games. So I think our biggest question mark as an offensive line is really depth. And, there's a few pieces here and there. Matt Nelson seemed like he was competent in his spot duties last year at times. Logan Sternberg, who I'm sure we're going to get into more, he's still a hopeful piece. But as a unit, as 5 guys on that unit, I wouldn't have been surprised if we were ranked number 2 or number 1, because I believe, especially if Penei Sewell arises to his point that he's capable of rising to, the Lions offensive line is going to could literally win us games next season.
I agree. And we've seen, powerful offensive lines just, work wonders for offenses. So honestly, if Goff is protected and has a good amount of time for the majority of the game, I would not be shocked if he had, a top, not just 15, but like a top 12 pass rate, because we've seen Jared Goff, when he's got good receivers, good weapons, and is protected, he's kind of decent. But it's just when he gets flustered is when he becomes just god-awful. So you mix those two together, and you get a kind of below average quarterback with some upside. So for me, I agree, Julius. The Lions were starting to get more love, more respect, and I think this is just the beginning. I think this is a little snowball effect in which next season we're going to see, are they contenders for the North? Is this the Lions' time to steal the North away from Aaron Rodgers? And obviously the Lions are going to make the playoffs. Will they get the win though? So I'm liking what I'm seeing with all this media love. Nick, were you at any surprised at all to see, a big media outlet like PFF come out and just say, we're top 3, we give us our love?
At first I was, because Detroit never gets any love in anything. And then I've seen a couple PFF rankings and lists over the past 3 weeks that are embarrassing, that are god awful. I think I saw a PFF top 10 head coach one that didn't include Sean McVay from PFF, and I saw another cornerback one that didn't involve Jari Alexander. I don't know, PFF. So at first I was like, oh wow, PFF, they got us ranked 3rd. I like that way to give some love to Detroit. And then I see all these other PFF rankings that just get shit on and blown up and are embarrassing.
So are you questioning the
ranking list? Yes, the ranking makers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad, I guess, that they have us top 3 and that they see us the same way that I see us. We have not shown that we're a top 3 offensive line by any means. Penny looks great. Ragnow looks great. Jonah looks great. Taylor looks great. We need to be healthy, right? We need to have all these guys at one time. We need to see everyone's great on their own island, but to be a good offensive line, you need to be cohesive. It can't just be 5 different islands. It needs to be one cohesive country working together to protect your leader, right? So until I see that with all 5 of them there, I'm still iffy. I'm not even putting us in the top 3 right now. I think we have the potential to be in the top 3, but I don't know why we would rank us in the top 3 right now. So I'm not having us up there. I'm glad PFF did, but again, I think PFF puts out only clickbait rankings, and this has taken this whole thing with a grain of salt.
Hey,
we were the 12th. We were the 12th
come at me with your
highest rated.
PFF stuff, boys.
We were the 12th highest rated offensive line as a unit, not just the starting 5 of as a roster unit,
right?
From PFF last year, and a lot of that had to do with our starters when they were on the field together, which was rare, especially after Ragnar went down.
Right.
This ranking is if every team has a healthy offensive line week 1, they believe the Lions have the 3rd best, and I happen to agree.
How did you get there after being ranked 12th, though?
Because I expect Panay Sewell to improve. I expect Frank Ragnow to be on the field.
Every single team expects every single offensive lineman that they have to improve. Everyone's
real quick, TJ Hawkinson, he's really the phantom 6 offensive lineman. If he learns how to block averagely this season, DeAndre Swift gonna run for 1,500.
We aren't adding TJ Hawkinson into our offensive line conversation of where we're ranking the offensive line. Yes, he's a great blocker, and he should be that subtle 6. I'm just saying, I don't know where PFF went from 12th ranked to the 3rd ranked. I'm glad they're giving us love. I was confused a little, but boys, like, we can't go into the season thinking we're gonna go 13-4 with the top 3 offensive line and not allowing a team to score more than 20 points for the first 12 weeks of the season.
It's gonna happen.
It's bad boy.
We got to be a little bit more realistic than that, boys. Come on.
Aiden Hutchinson sack record. Jeff Okuda lockdown.
100%. Nick, you just don't get it. You will one day, though.
One day.
PFF, yes, I will agree that may have been a little clicky-baity, but it was even more clickbaity and pissed us Detroit Lions fans off, and we all bit into it, but they got us, and I didn't care. I didn't care that we're going to bring it up again. And it's PFN, Pro Football Network. You damn losers. They graded DeAndre Swift, not just a bottom 16 running back, but the dead last number 32 worst running back out of all starting running backs. Somehow, DeAndre Swift got graded 32. This is the funniest thing is in the article right above it, they put Sony Michel at 31. So that was when I knew, all right, this is for clicks. I know this, but I'm still going to call them idiots to all our followers. So you win, Pro Football Network. You guys are idiots. Are you happy? But with that being said, Nick, give us a more realistic rating. Not 5 either, because I know you're top 5er for Swift. So not 5, not 32. Give us something that's just right in the middle.
Number 1. No. First and foremost, PFN. I do love their site, and I know a lot of people that work there. I called them out too. We can't have that.
I know.
That's just fake news slandering right there. They ranked Tony Pollard over DeAndre Swift, so I was like, all right, Sony Michel, like I don't know what was going on there. I don't think that was for clicks. I legitimately think that was their PFN rankings of their top 32 running backs. That was not just like trolling clickbait, and that was a full thread. And they meant it. What?
It was a Bears fan.
It was for sure a Bears fan, bro. We all know that, dude. But so I mean, PFN, great website. Keep up the good work, except for when you're talking about the Lions, because you have no idea what you're talking about. DeAndre Swift is gonna be way better than that. In fantasy football, I will rank DeAndre Swift in the top 8. If we're talking about just running backs in the NFL right now, he is a top 15 back, and I would put him right at 15 probably. it would be like it's tough because you have like the top 10 guys that are just, and in my opinion, solidified. Let's see if I can get this list real quick. Julius, you take over, and I'm going to come back with the list. I'm coming back to this.
Well, I mean, that's just disrespectful. All right. DeAndre Swift is capable of having a top 5 fantasy season next year, I believe. I believe he could be like the dark horse everybody kind of didn't see, but did see. And it all depends on health, just like we were talking about with the O-line. But to rank him 32nd is absolutely embarrassing. I know that was a Bears fan that wrote that or made that ranking up. I'm not dumb. They think they still taking shots at us. But guess what? Lions fans, we're an optimistic bunch right now. Go look over at some Bears articles going on and some Packers articles. It's a lot of doubt and worry going on in those departments. And right now, Lions fans are pretty chill. You know, even if we win 3 games next season, we still pretty chill. I say that now, but if we got 2 wins in December, I'm gonna be throwing hands on Twitter with the oxygen.
We're taking our show to the Cleveland. We're going south, man. We're becoming Browns fans or something. Real quick, let me jump back in here. I believe also DeAndre Swift 17 touchdowns in 2 seasons, right? Like how you get ranked 32nd there. Real quick, just out of our idea, Adam, I know we haven't let you get where your ranking is, but who's a better running back? Najee Harris or DeAndre Swift? Just a better running back. You know what I mean?
Swift.
That's okay. I think I would go with Harris. Julius?
It's clear.
It's pretty close. I could see the case for Swift, but I would go with Harris.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Jones or DeAndre Swift? Who's a better running back?
Swift. We talking fantasy or running backs?
No. We're not doing fantasy. We are not talking. We're like Super Bowl. You need the best running back.
I still believe Swift.
I'd say Aaron Jones on that one.
I'm gonna go with Swift on that one. Last 2, I'm gonna do just to kind of see where we are. Saquon Barkley or DeAndre Swift?
DeAndre Swift.
See, both 100% healthy. I go Saquon, but like factoring in their health.
Swift.
If I could have one season like this year Swift or this year Saquon on my team, if I'm a GM or coach or whatever, I would probably go Swift.
Yeah, basically, like you have to win the championship this year. They're both 100% right now, and you're fantasy, you're drafted. I mean, mad, and you're picking someone. Julius, who are you picking?
I'm going with Swift.
I'm gonna go over Saquon as well on that one, and that's kind of where the line gets it gets a little blurry. There's a few more. I think we're all gonna pick Swift, and I'm gonna pick one more just to see if I can get us not to say Swift, but still keep it relatively close. I won't do Joe Mixon because God knows that Adam would fathom that. So we'll go to Alvin Kamara or DeAndre Swift.
Kamara until proven, and DeAndre Swift's ceiling is Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was just wondering where that line was, but right on.
I like it. Yeah, DeAndre Swift. You know, obviously love the guy. Watching him play, I'm convinced he's going to be one of my favorite Detroit Lions along that I've watched play because I always say haven't seen Barry play, so I don't really count him as one of my favorites. But Calvin and Stafford are like neck and neck for 1 and 2, and I'm confident that Swift by the end of this year, I think will catapult himself into the conversation of number 2. Calvin Johnson's going to hold that 1 spot for probably till eternity. But DeAndre Swift, man, just watching him on TV, just seeing what he can do, and when he's healthy, if he plays 15 and 16 games, even 14, I think the media and everyone's going to really realize that this dude's a stud. He should have been the first pick, should have been on the Chiefs, but they took CEH. Maybe, maybe the Colts were right taking JT over him. Or, no, we took Swift over JT. So flip that around. Maybe we should have taken JT over Swift, but that's a whole different story. So Swift, I'm probably a little bit higher.
Who would you rather have to be a running back this year? Jonathan Taylor or DeAndre Swift?
Todd Taylor.
JT?
Yeah.
JT.
Julie, same thing?
Okay. JT.
Maybe we did miss out on that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know. What if Swift was as good as Jonathan Taylor, just on a bad team? You know what I mean? That didn't try as much.
Hey, man, and if Swift, I hate to say it, but if Swift catches that ball against the Bears, and we don't get Pace Sewell, so a lot of different outcomes in that season, but that was one of the big ones. So
there's a multiverse where that happened.
yeah,
Sure.
big one. But
Be interesting.
it was one of the universes where Swift catches it. We get a Bears victory. Woohoo! Beat the Bears, but no Penei Sewell this year. So, and that might mean we give Sean Slater. So I'm just going into a whole multiverse.
There's a multiverse where I had White Castle for dinner today, and that's this multiverse. So I'm glad I'm in this multiverse to be in. You know what I mean?
I love it. But to wrap things up about Swift, I think he's inside the top 15. I put him closer to the top 12, probably I'd say 12 to 15. I'd have to look at all the running backs to go off the top of my head. But Swift, I think he's definitely going to take a step up and prove himself. Not quite to Julius status, but I think he's going to.
I'm pretty sure Julius predicted him to have like 3,500 total yards. 2,000.
Hey, you never know, man.
Yeah. Actually, to be all honest, I do think DeAndre Swift cracks top 5 in fantasy football this year.
I love it.
We'll be very sad. The Lions will run with him. We have wide receivers to open up holes. You will not be able to just rush 8 against us anymore. Our offensive line, like we just literally talked about, is the top 3 apparently per PFF, and DeAndre is gonna be a top 5 running back in fantasy football. Like I'll put my mark on it right now. I'll write that down.
I love it. I kind of don't hope that because I don't have him in any dynasty leagues, and getting him in a redraft league, I'm sure you boys know, is just impossible because we usually play with our Detroit friends, and they don't let you get Detroit players. You always get that one stickler that's like, I'm getting Stafford, I'm getting Calvin, no matter what.
Oh, it was like 8 years in a row Calvin went first overall in our league for sure. Sometimes relatively good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. And then towards the end. So before we, wrap things up, boys, you obviously saw the War Room videos, the Hutch recap video where, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were talking and, in the War Room, hoping that they get Aiden Hutchinson. They didn't say his name, anyone's name. They go, who do you think Jacksonville's taking? And they were both like, I don't care. I just want to get our guy. And after they heard Trayvon Walker, they're all like, yeah, baby, we got our guy. We got our guy. And even though they didn't say Aiden Hutchinson was the dude they wanted number 1 on the paper, they pretty much implied it in the next follow-up after Trayvon was picked, and their excitement and motions. It wasn't quite Penei Sewell because I believe they were just far more shocked when Sewell fell to them and Chase was taken at the Bengals right before us. And even the Dolphins passed as well, as opposed to when, Trayvon Walker just skyrocketed to number 1. And by the time they called his name, his odds were minus 1,000 or something ridiculous. So, Nick, seeing these reaction videos, does this A, give you a little, taste for Hard Knocks? And B, does this just give you a little boost of, more hope than you already had?
Oh, these videos do a lot for me. They do a lot for me, boys. Go from 6 to midnight. No, wait, no, I'm sorry. So Brad Holmes, the first person I'm going to talk about with these videos. I love his demeanor. I love his interviews from inside the den. His interviews were awesome. From these clips, just him in the War Room. Already, I believe I just read an article that he's ranked in the top 10 of NFL GMs right now per whatever article. Probably PFF. I don't know. They're throwing out clickbait. But anyways, Brad Holmes is awesome, and he's going to be amazing to watch in Hard Knocks. These videos are outstanding just to get inside the locker room. It's what we all want. It's what we all want. We all want to be a fly on the wall the entire time, and just to get snippets of it is great. When we got Aiden, you could tell it wasn't as much excitement as Penei because he didn't have to fall 7 spots for us to get our guy. But there was still some big excitement. I feel like he's been proving it in the OTAs so far. Everything is working out very well. My favorite clip though was when we traded up for Jameson and things got wild. So we were like, we're gonna make this trade, and then all of a sudden the Saints traded up, and then all of a sudden they didn't draft our guy. And then did you guys see Antoine Randall? He comes in and pops his head in and starts chirping, excited as all could be. Like, I loved that clip. That was if you haven't seen it, watch the Antoine Randall L clip. He was so excited as soon as we drafted Jameson Williams, because if you don't know, Antoine Randall L is our wide receivers coach, so he now gets to coach Jameson Williams for the next foreseeable future. So he was super excited. He's not supposed to be in the war room. All of a sudden, he pops his head and he goes, "Yeah, boy!" And he loves it. He daps up Holmes and Campbell and everyone that's there, and he's excited. He's like, "I'm done for the day," and it was just awesome. I love these clips. I can't wait for Hard Knock. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Nick, real quick. So when I was talking about that clip to you, that snippet, did you see the video? Did you know what I was talking about before then, or did you watch the video after I said it? You're like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah, no, I did not until I said it.
Okay, yeah, because like, man, the Saints, they traded up, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, the Saints just jumped us. They need a wide receiver." And then I don't know, I think it was Dan Campbell that was like, "Wait, who do they need right now? Who's going to help them right now? They got Michael Thomas banged up. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to take Jameson Williams. They might not." And sure enough, boom, they took Chris Olave, and Lions Warren went crazy. So, Julius, did you see both these videos, or at least one of the two?
I saw both of them, and I believe the Lions have some characters on their team. And I say that in a good way. And I say that in a good way in terms of winning in the future. Because when I see Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes on video, I get a feeling I didn't get when I saw the last regime, Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn.
We don't say their names anymore. It's all right.
I know, right? I try to forget it. And
the names that shall not be spoken.
Well, speaking of Matt Patricia, real quick, did you guys see the Patriots are actually considering?
Oh, we talked about that. When you were wrestling bears last week in Mexico for blind people, we talked about that. And we laughed. We had a good laugh at that.
Well, I'm glad because, man, oh, man, that was funny. And Bill Belichick does that. Good luck, Bill.
They're not winning more than 6 games. But let's let Julius continue. Julius.
But no, man, I enjoyed the videos, just like I look forward to Hard Knocks, because even the players, I mean, Jared Goff, TJ Hawkinson, who looks like TJ Hawkinson reminds me of Thor on the football field. He's just like this beaming flow of blind electricity flowing across the open seams. Our receiver, our entire, from Antoine Randall and his whole wide receiver group. That's probably gonna be one of the best shows on part of Hard Knocks. That along with the secondary group.
Williams. Yeah.
What was that?
Shark, St. Brown, and Williams. Oh,
it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be a great mix of personalities. And these War Room videos, I wish we could watch them live at the draft, but that's a little asking too much. I understand, but it's pretty neat.
One day we'll be.
Hey, man, if Brad Holmes can watch us and take all our notes, I mean, why can't we have a little?
Wait till the draft is in Detroit. It's really gonna be lit.
Oh my gosh, I was saying, dude, it's gonna be so crazy down there. I'm not even gonna I don't know. It's gonna be crazy down there. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Hey, we'll all be together. That's what's going to happen. We'll all be going crazy. Hopefully, telling everyone, enjoy your picks because we're picking 32nd, baby.
A Super Bowl.
Or maybe we could make some sort of joke and say, enjoy the lottery rounds because the Lions are coming off a playoff appearance at least,
Just get to the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But man, these videos are just like, last year was so awesome to see the pace and behind the scenes, and then just to see like more reassurance of, so we got the characters, we got the the hyped up coach, everyone brings in passion. And also, did you guys see Martha Ford just chilling in the room, just kind of being a million years old, being herself? So I kind of like that, even though she's not owner of the team. It's cool to see that she's at least somewhat still involved-ish, appearing-ish. So good to know.
It was like, you can come, but you can't say a word. All right, you just sit by me.
Mom, just keep your glasses on and just sit right.
Martha sitting there mumbling to herself and
eating a butterscotch. You know what I mean?
Better take Aiden. Better take Aiden.
God.
That's good. That's good.
Absolutely.
I'll fire all you mofos.
Y'all fired. You fired.
Oh,
Mom, you don't own the company anymore. You're fired.
Mom, sit down, sit down. She just starts to like do all these old ladies.
She gets cranky when she doesn't have her, when her blood sugar gets low. Does anyone have any cranberry juice?
Absolutely, man. But other than Martha Ford chilling in there, the reactions of Antoine Randall all popping his head in, and Holmes and Campbell, all of it. It was just awesome to see, and yeah, man, it's just Hard Knocks. I'm really hoping we get to see a lot of just little snippets like this of just seeing our coaches, our players get excited, pumped up, because there was a report. I think it was, I can't remember who it was. One of the Lions beat.
Uh-oh.
What
What was
was Adam?
He gone. He gone, bro.
He
Just
gone.
like dude,
Next
he
topic.
ghosted us. Golly. It reminds me of my girlfriend in 9th grade. Just gone like that. You don't even
Yeah,
know.
man, twice now I've done that. I'm trying to switch screens, and I somehow, like, as I'm moving the mouse, I like double tap the touchpad, and it like was right on the exit screen and then right on the back button. So two separate
Adam,
buttons I clicked.
You have a new nickname on the show. You're the genie.
I love it.
You're the genie.
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Always
great.
popping in, disappeared, coming in and out.
For real.
But I forget what I was saying. Something about Lions beat reporter. I don't know.
It was a Lions beat report. You ever had a beet salad before? Dude, those things are terrible.
No, I have not. But
Dude, don't ever have a beet salad.
I
Beets.
will not.
Who
I will
eats
not
beets
try.
anymore anyway? Julius, you're probably a big beets fan, aren't
Listen, I can't speak for much. Adam eats his salads with whole sunflower seeds.
you? He just sprinkles them on top like the dessert, dude. Those chunks of ham, cheese,
Listen.
and
The
sunflower seeds.
shell just mixes in with the lettuce. You barely get the crunch.
Oh,
It's
man.
all salt.
Hey, man. Sunflower seeds. If you eat them a little pinch at a time, 2, 3, you're fine. You can scarf them down. But when you get the handfuls, then you either got to
You get like shards in your throat.
Hey, I've had a couple.
This is so delicious,
Bro, the worst. And I know we're getting on a sunflower seeds tangent, but before we wrap things up, the worst is when you crack or eat a sunflower seed, and when you bite down, it is vertical and it just jabs. The spiky part just jabs right in your gum. And I know everyone knows what I'm talking about because it just happens all the time. Even with like other foods like chips and spiky foods.
I'll
But
tell
man,
you the worst thing when it comes to eating is getting a freaking hot ass pizza, right? And then not waiting and then biting it, and then it burns the roof of your mouth so bad that you can't taste
that's
the rest of the pizza.
That sounds dangerous, Nick.
it ruins.
Dude, I can't wait. My body doesn't know how to wait for pizza to cool down.
I've done it so many times. I know better now. I'm stabbing my fork in this. I don't care. I'm putting this in the freezer. I don't care if it's
actually
lightly
The same
cold.
thing like
I'm not
pizza
burning my roof.
pizza rolls and hot pockets, they all just want to burn your mouth.
100%.
We should maybe think about, instead of doing a Lions podcast, doing a food podcast.
Food podcast.
We can do a Lions food podcast.
Lions and food. I like it.
Well,
Next
something that
segment,
relates-
boys.
Podcast on what lions eat, like lions.
Don't
food.
you guys eat hot pot like pizza rolls and hot pizza during the game?
Hey,
Yeah. Have you ever burnt your mouth grabbing a hot roll?
during like
a hot pizza roll,
Yeah, it's terrible, bro. During every
Horrible.
Super Bowl for the last 20 years, I've burned my mouth. There's a streak going. You know what I mean? Like, this looks delicious. Oh, shit.
Let's stick to Lions.
Yeah, let's stick the Lions. All right, right on. 56 days until Hard Knocks, boys.
Yeah,
That's what I was
and just before we get going, a little OTA talk. We had some news. Jameson Williams, he's taking it slow. There is rumblings. Just no one important, but I've heard fantasy experts, other, Sports Center guys, NFL experts say that they think Jameson Williams will end up on the PUP, which means he'll miss the first 6 games. So not the worst thing in the world. If we do take it slow, at least, he's coming in 100% when he does come in, and just there's no really risk of him re-injuring it, because he came off too fast. But if the Lions start off, 3-1, 4-1, and we're looking good, yeah, it would be nice to have him those next couple games to keep the momentum going. But all in all, I don't think it's too bad to have Jameson Williams have a slow start. And also, there have been reports that he does have that same chip on his shoulder and has some similarities to what Amon-Ra had last year, in which Amon-Ra, maybe not a first-round pick, but he was picked 18th. He was picked in the 4th round and thought he would go way higher. I believe we all thought he would go way higher and fell to the Lions super late. Similar-ish to what Jameson did. Jameson only fell to 12, right? 8, or what was it?
14.
14, 15, 14, yeah. Anyways, so not the biggest slide, but he himself was upset that he wasn't the first or not the second, or was Garrett Wilson? Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought so. So, yeah, he was, 4th wide receiver take off the board. If healthy, I think a lot of people agree that he would have been the number 1. So hopefully he does have this same demeanor, same chip on his shoulder, balls out like Amon-Ra did. But
I really didn't start playing until week 9, 10 anyway. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
People forget about that early rookie dry spell Amon-Ra had last season.
Yeah, that's very true. Did you guys talk about the DeAndre Swift jacked picture where he just has the biggest arms in the world now, I guess? Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw.
We leave. Never mind. I'm gonna stop. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop myself right there. It's a family-friendly show, Julius.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, Nick.
No,
I'm out for you, mister. Anyways, yeah, DeAndre Swift, man. I don't know if you guys remember, but his dad was had the biggest biceps and was the biggest jack dude of all time on draft day. So hopefully he's on his dad's workout diet. His biceps, his just whole upper body looks just massive. He definitely has been hitting the weight room. So if we start to see Swift, not just jump guys, not just juke guys, but truck guys too, which we actually did see last year.
Man, yeah, for the past couple of years we've seen him. He trucked that one Redskin dude his rookie year.
That's right. So, yeah, DeAndre Swift, like we all said, we definitely think he's going to take another step up.
Adam, who's going to be the better fantasy running back this year? DeAndre Swift or Javonte Williams?
This year, Swift. But next year, when Melvin Gordon's gone, Javonte Williams.
Julie?
I'm also going to go with Swift on account of Melvin Gordon.
I'm going Javonte Williams. He's going to be a top 4 running back. He'll be 4, Swift will be 5. But anyways.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Melvin Gordon? No, I'm not worried about Melvin Gordon. That dude's like the Todd Gurley of the NFL right now.
That's good to know that you're a Javonte Williams fan as well.
I'll be drafting him 1st overall in every pick.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe not that spicy.
Good to know. But, boys, I think that should do it. We will be on next week to talk about something Detroit Lions related, but we'll be back as usual to put on a great show for you guys. Thanks, everyone who joined in. Give us a like, subscribe. Check us out on Twitter at Honolulu Blues. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. Julius, I like this little pop-up you gave me. I'm just reading right off it, even though I don't really need to anymore, but helps sometimes. Give us a like, review. Doesn't matter. We love it all. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Check out my good buddy Nick at Nick Faber NFL, and then check out Julius at The Fifth Top, and then, of course, myself at Everyday FFB, posting all your fantasy football needs and Detroit Lions content. But, boys, until next week, hopefully Tigers can get a